This is the You, Me, and BTC podcast. Welcome to episode 32. In today's shorter show, we'll be chatting about a few news items that have come out recently. First, we'll touch on Wikipedia and Twitch TV, both of which are now officially accepting Bitcoin. Later in the show, we'll discuss an old-school rapper who has embraced Bitcoin. He also happens to owe millions of dollars in taxes. To finish things off, we'll share some Bitcoin news out of Australia and try to decide whether or not Bitcoin should be treated as an investment. Stay tuned for all that and more. Your hosts are Tim Baker, John Stuart, and myself, Daniel Brown. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to the show again. This is You, Me, and BTC episode 32. We're all excited to be back again. Hope you are too. Glad you can join us. I'm Daniel Brown, and I'm here with Tim Baker.
Hello everyone.
And John Stuart.
Hi.
What's up, guys? So, before we jump into things today, I guess what I want to do first is welcome anybody that might be a new listener from Chain Radio. It's a new Bitcoin-centered radio station that's kind of getting started. It just began a couple weeks ago, I guess, and we've been on the air in a couple ways, actually, which we've really enjoyed. That's been really cool for us. First of all, they play our show every Monday night at 7 p.m. That's our main slot for the podcast. That's been pretty cool. We've been on twice so far, and it's just sweet to be another way to share the show, another way for people to listen and hear it. So that's our first slot, I guess, and I want to mention that they have an encore on every Tuesday at 2 a.m. So it's kind of, I guess, 5 hours later. So Mondays at 7 p.m., Tuesdays at 2 a.m., 5 hours later. Those are the two slots just for our regular podcast show, like this show that you're hearing now. So welcome to anybody who is listening on Chain Radio, and also to anybody who found our show through Chain Radio. We're glad that you did, and hopefully you'll stick around. Let us know, actually, too. You know, you can always tweet us at YouMeAndBTC. You can send me an email. I'm Daniel at YouMeAndBTC.com. We want to hear from you. We want to know just really anything at all. We want to know how you heard about us, what you like, what you don't like. Let us know. We're always open to feedback. And also we have these open tweet lines, is what I like to call them. If you tweet to us at YouMeAndBTC, we will read your tweet on the show, whether it be this show or, I guess I didn't quite get this far, but we do have another slot on Chain Radio, which is a special live slot, which is really cool, I think. Tim and I did that last Saturday. It's Saturday nights at 10 p.m. These are all Eastern times. I don't remember if I said that yet, but Eastern time in the U.S. Mondays at 7, Tuesdays at 2, and we are live on the air Saturdays at 10 o'clock p.m. What did you think of the show, Tim? That live show? Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. It was something different. It felt kind of weird sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it was just different, but it was something cool to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was like we had never done that kind of thing before. We've done a few live hangouts, Google Hangouts on YouTube, which were fun, but those were a little bit different. This live radio show was definitely something new. We definitely made a ton of mistakes, and I guess our biggest mistake was not getting the audio set up correctly and not testing everything out in time. So we were supposed to have John join us with the show, but it didn't quite work out. Sorry about that, John.
It's okay.
Hopefully you can be with us next Saturday. We did some more testing just now, and it should work out. So for Tim and John, you better be there. And for all of our listeners, remember that you can check us out live on the air at chainradio.com, Saturdays, 10 p.m. Eastern. Be there. Honestly, it was tons of fun, even with all of our mistakes. I just had a blast, and hopefully we can do that again. So, be there. Another thing I wanted to mention, I just got some cool stuff in the mail just yesterday, actually. We're recording on Tuesday the 5th of August, and I got in the mail yesterday on the 4th. Well, two cool things, actually. First, it was a do-it-yourself physical Bitcoin, is what it's called. You know, they've had these, the main coin before was the Cassatius coins, where he would create these coins and send them to you, and it would basically be a private key on a physical coin. So you could trade the coin, and then the private key was covered in a hologram so that you could kind of know if it was read or used or anything. That was really cool. But this is a do-it-yourself coin, so you actually create the private key yourself and fund it yourself. I wish I could show you pictures on the air or on a podcast, but I can't quite do that. I might put some up on the website, but what you can do is you can check out, the website is serpco.in, so it looks like Serpcoin, serpco.in. But yeah, these are some, honestly, they're beautiful to look at. They're nice and shiny. They have some fancy holograms on the back with some cool imaging. Really, they're just nice to see, but the idea is that you print out your own private key, you load it with your own Bitcoins, and then you have a physical Bitcoin. Anyway, so what I wanted to do right now is just encourage you to check these out, because what you can do is get a discount. We have a code UME and BTC, and you'll get 15% off your entire order if you want to get some of these cool coins. And that's actually the biggest discount that this guy has ever given anyone so far, so hopefully that'll be useful to you. And there's another product that he has. It's a Bitcoin pin. It's really shiny as well. That's like the coolest thing about these things, is that they're shiny, but it's a pin that
Daniel's basically like a crow. He just
yeah, I guess so.
Or a woman, or both.
I wasn't sure if I should say that, but okay.
Well, it's out there.
All right.
I apologize.
Yeah, so it's actually solid sterling silver, but it has 18 karat gold plating, so that's really cool. And the coin also has 18 karat gold plating. But anyway, that's what these are. They're really cool. I want you to check them out. The pin is it's a little Bitcoin B is what's on the pin, and it's shiny silver and gold, and that's cool. So the website again is serpco.in, or Serpcoin if you want to remember it that way. And use the code UME and BTC for 15% off. And also, what I wanted to do is just let you know that I haven't actually done the do-it-yourself part yet. I haven't put together this coin before. I haven't printed out my private key. So I'm going to do that sometime soon, and I'll let you all know how it goes. I think I'll be making a video too, so just so you can see what it looks like and how they go together, and you know, you always want to know how shiny they are too, so. Okay, cool. So I guess we're ready to jump into a couple things. Our plan, at least for the moment, is to just read a couple headlines that we wanted to share. We're not going to spend a ton of time on them, but we just wanted to mention them. These are actually some news items that we talked about during our live show last Saturday. So it's a little bit of rehashing there, but just for fun, we wanted to mention them again and share some thoughts, especially since I don't think we have much of an overlap, because that was our first ever live show. I don't think a ton of people who were listening then are also regular podcast listeners. So for the moment, we're just going to do a little bit of quick rehash just to let you know what we talked about. Tim, you want to tell us about Wikipedia?
Like you said, Daniel, we talked about this a little bit on the live show, but Wikipedia just recently officially started accepting Bitcoin. The president or head of Wikipedia, whatever you want to call him, a while ago had set up, like, I guess he just started using Bitcoin, and he put his address up on some kind of social media thing, and people just started using that as a way to donate to Wikipedia. But he said that kind of just happened on accident. So recently, Wikipedia started accepting it, like, officially. I don't think they're not really, like, keeping it at all. I think Yeah, I just looked it up. It says Wikipedia now accepting donations in Bitcoin through Coinbase. So, and I think Coinbase does something where it's free or something.
Free for nonprofits, I think. Yep.
Yeah, so that works out for them.
Yeah, I don't know if there's really a ton that we need to say other than it's just another area of growth, another place that's accepting them, and that's really cool. I did hear that I think as part of the announcement, they said they're not really even considering any other altcoins or anything, which is interesting because, I mean, even with Bitcoin, like, why did it take them so long? Like, there's literally no downside other than you just get more money from Bitcoin enthusiasts or something. That's not even a downside. I don't see what the downside ever could have been. And same thing with these altcoins. I don't really know what the downside could be other than, I guess maybe with altcoins, it just must be much smaller markets. So they put this much, even if it's only a little bit of effort, they do have to kind of set things up. Even just the act of getting a wallet and putting an address on the website for a random altcoin that's out there, that might not be worth it, just because who knows how much you're really going to get from a random altcoin. So that might be part of the reason, I guess. But still, I don't know why maybe like Litecoin or Doge. It seems like...
Yeah, especially something like Doge, I wouldn't really understand that, because that's kind of just, like, that whole point of that coin is just for, like, tipping and throwing money at people.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, like I said, as long as you get, well, I don't know, call it, even if you only got like $100 ever, I mean, how much does it cost to just post an address on the website? Maybe they have to, because they're a non-profit, maybe they have to kind of keep a ton of records about how much money they have and what they do with it and where it came from. Maybe. I don't know the details on any of that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's still cool. They accept Bitcoin now. It's kind of weird that they specifically said that they're not going into altcoins anytime soon, but it's all cool nonetheless. So sweet. All right. I think I'm actually going to do the next quick headline that we have. Actually, it's not really even a headline. It's kind of minor-ish. But still, it was cool to me. I had fun talking about it on the live show just because the whole idea of watching live video gaming seems really cool to me. So the next one, another place that's accepting Bitcoin is Twitch.tv. And Twitch TV is kind of just a really cool... Well, I've never actually used it, but I think in my mind, the whole idea of watching video games, like I said, is really cool. So I'm assuming this service is really cool. Basically, I guess you pay per episode maybe, or maybe you pay monthly, whatever you want to do. And they show you live video gaming, competitive maybe, or I'm assuming normally it's competitive, but I don't know, maybe you just can watch people socialize too, just some celebrities in the gaming world or something like that, right?
Well, when I was looking on there on Saturday, it had a few games that were exclusively single player, and also, whenever I looked on the website, they were doing what looked like a roundtable discussion of people, so it looks like they probably have like little things like that, or like podcasts, stuff like that, where people talk about games.
Okay, sweet, yeah. And like I said, this is all fascinating to me. I have zero time these days and never got into this stuff. But anyway, again, it's just another place that accepts Bitcoin. I think it's pretty cool. If I ever do free up anytime soon, which is, I think, fairly unlikely with all this podcasting and radio stuff we have going on, I've been keeping real busy. But anyway, if I ever get the chance, I'm definitely going to look into that. And again, just more growth. That's what we need these days in Bitcoin. Cool.
Well, another headline is that the blockchain app is now back on the App Store. We talked about it getting taken down way back in our 7th episode.
Oh, yeah, wow. Yeah, that wasn't, I mean, that's a long time ago, and I don't...
I forgot.
I don't really even want to think about what our audio was like back then, because I know we went through several phases of using different programs and different methods of recording, and I know a couple times I've gone back that far, and I don't know if I really want to think about it. But anyway, yeah. But still, if you want to check out kind of the vintage You, Me, and BTC flavor, check out episode 7. Anyway, go ahead, Tim. I interrupted you, didn't I?
I mean, it's nice that Apple's finally letting the stuff back in. The only one I knew before, like, Apple stopped all this stuff, and then I think FIFA was really the only thing you could get at.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's worth mentioning. We did an interview with the FIFA guys, and they kind of had a way around these regulations with Apple, and they had a co-op that they set up, and if you joined the co-op, then you could, I don't want to say legally, because legally you can install whatever you want on your phone, but within Apple's policies, you could actually still get the FIFA wallet. So even though you can get blockchain now, you might want to check that out too. That's PHEEVA. Just if you're interested, you can compare them and see what you like. But anyway, yeah, back to blockchain. It was definitely a shame that it went down, and we really got on Apple for that. And I still don't like Apple. I could go on about them for a while, but actually, now that I think about it, I remember doing that in episode 7. So
yeah, you did. You went off on it.
So while you're enjoying the vintage Yumi and BTC flavor, you can get a sample of my detestation. Oh, that's terrible. My distaste for Apple. Wow, you know, maybe this is just deja vu, but in my head, I feel like I made that exact same kind of, I tried to use that same word in episode 7. That's weird. I don't know. So listen and see if that's true. Yeah, I think I tried to say detestation and ended up with distaste or something. I don't know. Check it out and see. I probably cut out the slip up if I did. Anyway.
I'm glad that Apple's accepting this stuff more and letting these apps back on, but I also kind of hope that, like, the people who all, like, you had all those people breaking their iPhones, so go get an Android for it. I kind of hope those people just stay with Android and don't go back to an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
So Apple isn't not rewarded, but just so Apple gets a little bit of punishment for not taking it. But I guess it doesn't really matter that much.
I think, I mean, I don't know any personal stories. I haven't heard anyone like actually tell me this, but I feel like a lot of people that did do that would still feel like, yeah, there's no point in going back because they were idiots. So I feel like several or maybe even most people would be like that, you know, the good kind who realize that Apple made a mistake, and hopefully they see all their other mistakes too, so.
I mean, has Apple come out with anything as to why? I mean, did they ever say that it's because they were worried about regulations and maybe now they think it's more?
Right, yeah, I don't really know. I don't remember any official announcements. I know that was highly speculated. I also heard that maybe some of the reason was because Apple they have, you know, their own whole system of micropayments with their iTunes store, and I heard some people saying that they might come out with at least their own payments processor or maybe even their own currency. I don't remember all that or what all the details were, but you know, that might have been another reason, just they didn't want competition with Bitcoin for any of that stuff. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I guess the app's back available for anybody that does want to use it. I'm not a fan of Apple. I don't think you should be, but if you have an iPhone, get a wallet. You definitely should. I guess there were several people when I wanted to share Bitcoin. I wanted, you know, whenever there's people, friends or anything that don't know about Bitcoin, the first question I actually find myself asking is, what kind of phone do you have? And if they say, well, for a while, if they said Apple, I was like, oh crap, never mind then. Then for a while I was getting them into the FIFA wallet like we said. But now there's also blockchain for anybody. If anybody's on Apple and if I want to send them Bitcoin, I can say, hey, get blockchain. Try that out.
The other thing about Apple is I was trying to talk to someone a little bit ago who had an iPhone, which I didn't figure out at first because I was telling them to try to get an app for like encrypting SMS stuff. And Apple really doesn't seem to have too many things like that. Like, they have some ones that just kind of hide it on your phone. Like, if someone's going through your phone, I think they're supposed to be getting text secure at some point, but...
Yeah, I think that's, like I said, we could go on about Apple and what we hate about them for ages, and we don't need to do that now. But yeah, I definitely agree, Tim. That's an important thing. People need secure communications, and if Apple doesn't have that, I agree that's a really bad thing. So, yep.
Get on that, Apple.
Right, yeah. You're listening to the You, Me, and BTC podcast. We need your help. First of all, we'd love it if you could check out our website, youmeandbtc.com. There you can find donation addresses for every single article and episode, and we'd love it if you could make use of those. We could also use some fans and followers, so if you're willing, please visit Facebook or Twitter.com/youmeandbtc. Lastly, remember to subscribe to the show. You can do that on iTunes or sign up on our website to receive email updates. Thanks for your support. John, you want to talk about your story that you found?
Yeah, I just saw this posted, I guess it was a couple days ago, August 3rd, yeah. This was posted on the Dollar Vigilante. I don't know, people might know about it. It's kind of like I guess it's like a news site run by Jeff Berwick. It's kind of just about economics and stuff like that, but they're definitely anarchist, libertarian bent. So that's beside the point, though. This article is about a rapper. They call him a hip-hop heavyweight, which I had never heard of him until reading this, but I'm not
right
by any means an expert on hip-hop.
My guess is, at least for myself, I've probably heard his music just because it is probably hip-hop, and it is probably out there quite a bit. But yeah, I didn't recognize the name either, so I don't know.
Well, he sounds more like his album, they're saying it's the 20th anniversary, so he's been around for a long time.
Wow, yeah.
I assume he's more of like one of like the old school like Godfathers than like a really popular person now. And
that actually might make me even more interested, because I tend to enjoy some old school hip hop now and then.
Yeah, there are a few things I like here and there, but generally I'm not like a very well known about hip hop stuff. So I've never heard of him, but he has now, well, I guess it's not recent really. It's just that the Dollar Vigilante put out this article recently. He's been investing in Bitcoin apparently for a long time and has a lot of it, I guess. He's invested in Coinbase. And another interesting thing, well, I should say that he's invested in a lot of things. He's invested in what the article calls disruptive technologies like ride-sharing startup Lyft, mobile laundry service Washio, and e-commerce platform Fancy. So he's kind of into all this, like, I don't know what you would call it. What would you guys call it? Like, I guess it's just like open market.
Like they said, disruptive technology. And honestly, when you said that, I thought it was kind of hilarious that things like Lyft is considered disruptive, because it's the simplest idea. I want to catch a ride with you. That's
why I don't really like that word, because I don't think it's disruptive at all. I was trying to come up with... I mean, it is.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
I don't think it is by nature. It's just because how people react to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And, yeah, so I don't know what a better word for these would be. I wanted to say, like, crowdsourcing, but it's not really that. It's just kind of like open market services, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad description, yeah.
Yeah, so he's supported this kind of stuff, and just a fun fact, he apparently owes the Fed $6 million on delinquent tax filings, so he just doesn't pay his taxes or file them even. And apparently, according to the article, his wages from like the music distribution company that owns his music, I guess, his wages just have been deferred straight to the government. So if you buy one of his CDs, it pretty much just goes straight to the government.
Just pirate it. Just pirate it.
Yeah, so pirate it or pay him in Bitcoin, actually. And that's one of the things the article's talking about, that maybe people who are big fans of him will get into Bitcoin because of this, if they find out that his money's just being taken straight to pay for his delinquent taxes.
That's actually a really cool concept. Yeah, that could definitely happen.
Yeah, so I guess he just has had problems with money, I guess, because so he just started accepting Bitcoin, and he has a lot of money in Bitcoin. It seems like they don't give you any numbers or anything, but it seems like he has quite a bit. It's pretty interesting that they have a couple quotes from him. One of them is that Bitcoin will evolve into an industry as big, if not bigger, than the internet. My man Ben Horowitz really opened my eyes to that point. This isn't the internet age. Bitcoin is its own age. Obviously, challenges will arise from a security and privacy perspective, but the internet was the same way 20 years ago. So that's pretty cool to hear that kind of stuff from someone who's maybe a little bit more in the public eye or a little bit more famous.
Right, definitely.
And the article talks about how 50 Cent has accepted Bitcoin through BitPay. It doesn't say when exactly that was, but it was on...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I guess it's his new album, so I guess it hasn't happened quite yet, but he's doing that.
Well, yeah, I don't remember. Maybe, I feel like that could have been a while ago, and maybe the album did come out, but I don't remember, so, yeah, something like that. But the point is, yeah, he accepts Bitcoin, or is going to, and that's sweet.
In the article, it just says, most recently, 50 Cent said that he would make his new album, and it doesn't say, yeah, it looks like that's a quote. It's like this section is pasted from another article, so I don't know exactly when that was. Yeah, but this is kind of awesome. I mean, I've talked about before how I guess crowdfunding has kind of been the new movement in music and I guess art in general. You see a lot of people now who are doing Kickstarters or Indiegogo campaigns or whatever. Crowdfunding is huge right now, and I think that's good because I think it's a more organic way of getting money, and I don't think that, I mean, I don't need to get into intellectual property things. We talked about that. We had a whole episode about it, actually, so you can go back. If you want more vintage You, Me, and BTC, go back and watch that. That's actually, or listen to that. That's actually one of my more favorite episodes. But I think it's great to see these people starting to accept Bitcoin, because it's like crowdfunding is getting huge, and Bitcoin, at least in my opinion, is really the best way to crowdfund, I think. And I guess just to rattle off a couple more things about this, the last Mastodon album they took Bitcoin for, that was through BitPay again. And I assume with them and probably 50 Cent too, that they weren't actually like keeping it in Bitcoin.
Right.
But even if they're not, I still think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wish, like, it was for you might still be able to get it from their website for Bitcoin, but last time I looked at it, it was still for pre-order, but I couldn't pre-order the CD, like the actual physical CD, so I ended up just going and buying it. I think it was on sale for something for like $5 or something at Best Buy. They were doing some kind of promotion, but I mean, it was nice to see it get sold like that. I just didn't know why they weren't letting you pre-order the physical. I was just looking at an article from CoinDesk, the one about 50 Cent, whatever.
Oh, geez, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, I remember now, too. Speaking of the vintage BTC, in that episode, ideas, information, and intellectual property, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what order we talked about them in, but Tim also did make that exact same slip up about 50 Cent or 50 Cent or whatever it is.
I thought it was another guy. I thought it was like Little...
Oh, yeah, you did Lil Wayne too, yeah, or something. I don't remember, but yeah. And just for fun, because of that rap stuff, I edited in a really creepy rap at the end of that episode.
That was more embarrassing than that.
So that's also part of our vintage flavor, is that creepy rap song about Satoshi and Bitcoin and getting rich or something or the other. So you want to definitely listen to that.
You should make that available somewhere individually.
Yeah, I probably will. When I dig it out and
put it on iTunes.
Yeah, definitely.
Or the Pirate Bay, or yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Tim, I interrupted you yet again.
Yeah. Anyway, before we were interrupted.
Oh, and Tim, also, there's this. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, his album came out on June 3rd, so it's already been out. And I don't know what kind of sales he got for that, but then also I was looking down further, and I thought about you, Daniel, just because it mentioned that Donald Glover, or also known as Childish Gambino, or Troy formerly from the show Community.
No, they're going again, 6 seasons.
No, but he
hasn't been on.
Oh
there.
Shoot, I forgot about that. Oh, that was a shame. Yeah. Anyway, I do love Community, but yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, go ahead, Tim.
I guess he suggested that he might accept it for an upcoming music project, but nothing else since then has come up about that. So.
Also, Snoop Dogg tweeted, "My next record available in Bitcoin and delivered in a drone."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Which, I guess they said that it was kind of more of a joke because that didn't actually happen. And nobody was really pursuing anything at all when he said that. So it was kind of just him making a joke. But hopefully that will actually happen pretty soon. I guess I can shamelessly plug my remix that I've been working on for Adam Kokesh of his audiobook. And I've heard it so many times that I don't even know what he's saying anymore, but I do know that he talks about drones a lot, and I'm looking forward to when I can buy somebody's album and have it delivered, buy it with Bitcoin and have it delivered in a drone, so.
Yeah. And we sampled the intro, if anybody's interested, in our last episode. It must have been 31, I guess. We played a sample of the intro to the book. So yeah, that's fun too. This is backing up a little bit, but something I wanted to say, because we mentioned how this hip-hop heavyweight Nas has some fairly significant Bitcoin holdings, doesn't say exactly how much, and we also said how these other people like Mastodon and 50 Cent are probably not keeping any money in Bitcoin. So yeah, that is cool now that this new guy is coming out and, we know that he has some holdings. Not only is that good for publicity, but anybody who has some fairly large holdings is also helping a little bit with the price, or especially if he's selling stuff for Bitcoins and keeping the Bitcoins, because that means that somebody out there has to buy the Bitcoins, which makes the price go up. The coins go to this guy and he doesn't just dump them on the market and make the price plummet. He gets to keep them and enjoy them and look at them and see how shiny they are. I don't know, but
I assume he really wants to keep them because he owes the Fed $6 million.
That's true. Yeah, I guess, yeah. If he puts them into fiat ever, they're probably going to get stolen. So yeah, you're right. Stolen by the government, I mean.
Yeah, and it also mentioned that he has invested in Coinbase, which is cool too.
Yeah, definitely. It just means not only is he, actively helping the Bitcoin economy, but his vision and his promotion, his publicity, everything like that is just great. So definitely.
So I think we're done with that part, but we kind of wanted something at the very end to kind of tie up the episode in a nice little bow. I'm not sure if that's the right phrase there, but anyway, I found this article was only from about a few hours ago today, and this is August 5th. I couldn't really tell from the article if it's commenting on a rise. Obviously it's commenting on a rise, but if there's like a lot of people or if it's just a few and then this is noticing it. It's from a Business Day website for the Sydney Morning Herald, Sydney, Australia. The headline is Australians Turning to Bitcoin to Boost Retirement Savings. And it basically just talks about, I guess, people looking into Bitcoin as a way to diversify or just think of different ways to put their money into something to hopefully have some stuff for retirement to see if it'll grow. And in the article, you have some people saying it's great and that it's wonderful. Then you have other people saying you'd be lunatic to do this. And some people someone says, what exactly are you buying? It's hardly a store of wealth. It's something that's just manufactured. So I'm not sure what that meant, but the article, I don't know what it means.
What do they want you to invest in? Maybe gold. Hopefully. If you're going to say that, you better be talking about at least gold or something. Otherwise, you get slapped or something. You can just cut that out.
The article seems to be pretty balanced. Like, it's not taking any really cheap shots at it. The thing I just quoted was just from it was a quote in the article, so. And I guess they talked to, in this past June, the Australian Taxation Office delayed its ruling on how Bitcoin would be taxed under their laws. Supposedly they're supposed to get them out soon so that Australians can complete their 2013 and 2014 tax returns. But from this article, that's what a lot of people are kind of worried about, is like how they're going to work that into the taxes as to if people should be investing it and if it's something that's viable for like a retirement saving kind of thing.
Right. I mean, that's just an interesting thought that we don't really have a ton of time to get into now, but the whole idea of a government trying to decide how to tax it at all is something that we could probably talk about for quite a while. And I guess we have mentioned that kind of thing before about how the U.S. tries to tax it, and something that we haven't actually talked about yet, I don't think, but maybe we should pretty soon, is the whole bit license thing and how they're trying not just to tax it, but to regulate it and to oversee it and stuff. And I mean, again, we don't have to get into all that now, but yeah, I just wanted to throw that out. Those are some important events and some important conversations that are going on right now that anybody into Bitcoin should be aware of.
Well, I mean, what would you say is an investment? Because I mean, I wouldn't tell anyone to invest in Bitcoin.
Oh, I agree. For the most part. I mean, if you have free money, if you have money that you just want to play around with, then you could maybe invest in it. But in general, yeah, I totally agree. You shouldn't treat it as an investment. There are too many people out there who are, they only get into Bitcoin just because they want to get rich, just because they want the price to go way up. I mean, I think it would be cool if that happened, and certainly because they have some Bitcoin, that would help. But I don't think that should be the reason that you get into Bitcoin. I don't think that should be your one and only goal. Because if that is your goal, that means you care about getting dollars in the end. That means you don't really know what Bitcoin is. You don't care much about Bitcoin. You just want the price to spike so that you can cash out into dollars. That's not what we want. And I agree, Tim. It shouldn't be treated as an investment, at least not with a goal towards getting rich. I mean, you should treat it as an investment in the way that you understand that you're putting money into something else, in the way that you understand that there's some risk there, in the way that you understand that the price could maybe even go down, and that could lose you some money, just like an investment could lose you some money. You should see those things, but I don't think you should see it as a way to get rich, I don't think.
I think you should see it not as a financial investment, but as something more important than that. You're investing in an idea, in a community, and that's, I think, more important than getting rich.
Right, I agree. And I guess part of the reason that your investment could fail monetarily is because things could switch from Bitcoin to a better cryptocurrency, or some sort of money system that isn't even cryptocurrency, but is even better. So, yeah, by putting your money into Bitcoin, you could end up losing your money, but you still, I think, would have invested in the whole community and the whole idea of, I almost said free money because it's money that's not controlled by anybody, but it's not actually free money. I guess some people give away Bitcoin, but you know what I mean.
Money. I be rolling with Satoshi. What you gonna doshi? All this money that I got make me richy. I got Bitcoin. I'm so rich. Money. I'm so rich. Money. I'm so rich. I got Bitcoin. Money.
Thanks for listening to episode 32. All of the music in today's show was from John Stuart. We'll see you next Thursday online, or Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Chain Radio.